Hi, my name is Andrea Wilson, and I'm the director of the Iowa Writers House here in Iowa City, Iowa, City of Literature. I founded this organization 5 years ago because I was so proud of being an Iowan and because I think we are one of the best states in the country to be a reader and also reputationally as a writer, but we needed a place for writers. And so here at the house, we have writing workshops, classes, seminars, and experiences. People come from all over the state to participate in them. This year, we started our first fellowship for writers. It's called the Bicultural Iowa Writers Fellowship, and I created it so that we had an opportunity for immigrants and our bicultural residents to learn to write and have an opportunity to tell their stories. And we've published our first book. I'm so proud to share with you We the Interwoven, an anthology of bicultural Iowa. This book, published in June of 2018, already sold out of its first printing. It's now in its second printing, and we currently have it represented in over 50 libraries across the state. Our authors, Sadaqat Chuy, and Melissa Palma, are all Iowans. All of them represent a culture from another place. Chuy is Mexican-American. His parents were born in border towns in northern Mexico and moved to West Liberty, Iowa, where he was born. His work is nonfiction and fiction. It talks about his cultural identity, his struggles to be both American and Mexican, and really the interactions he had growing up in Iowa through his youth, trying to understand what it was to be of this place and of another. One of the things we found with Chuy as we've gone on book tour across Iowa is that this is a point of reference and something that a lot of Iowans can relate to. We have now so many different immigrants and cultures represented here in our state, and so Chuy's stories really provide a jumping off opportunity for discussion, and as a writer, he's really gained a following in helping both young and old people understand what the immigrant or the third generation, the third culture kid feels like. Sadaqat is from Azerbaijan. She moved to Iowa 13 years ago with her family, and she lives in Des Moines, Iowa. We're really excited about her because she's also a librarian at the Clive Library. So it's been incredible to publish her stories and to help bring her into the public eye. Many people knew her already locally, but now across the state, they've become acquainted with Sadaqat's very special style of writing. She writes in a fable-esque way, sort of a magical, mystical, Eastern tone that comes from the storytelling she learned in her country of Azerbaijan. But what's beautiful about the stories she writes is they're both written for adults, but also in a way that they make perfect sense to children. They have kind of an Aesop's fable tonality to them. One of the things that we discovered about Sadaqat after she began writing here at the house is that she is an incredible illustrator. These are all done by freehand, and Sadaqat, after publishing this book, has become involved with the Iowa illustrators, and we hope will go on to publish more children's books. Our final author, Melissa Palma, is Filipino-American. She grew up in Waterloo, Iowa. Her parents moved to Iowa when she was young, and she spent her youth in Waterloo both grappling with her cultural heritage, but also learning about so many other cultures that were represented in Waterloo, which we've learned through her writing is a much more diverse community than many people know. Melissa's writing is fiction, nonfiction, and poetry, and she, like all of the authors, has included a cultural glossary as part of the book, which is an incredible resource because each of the writers talks about the different terms in their stories which are uniquely cultural but also uniquely Iowan. Chuy's glossary is West Liberty slang and many of the things that they use in that community only, but also with a Mexican twist and also with a millennial twist of what it is to have grown up in the 80s. And Sadaqat explained to us some of the defining terms about food and culture from Azerbaijan, and Melissa helps us understand both the Philippines but also the cultural influences on that place and why there is a version of language there that includes Spanish terms, something that she and Chuy found in common, and I think readers are going to just find fascinating. So we are so excited to have We the Interwoven finding its way into libraries across the state, and we can't wait to have it in your library. We're also so excited to to hear feedback from the readers on how this book is changing their lives. We have a study guide and a discussion guide, and we'll be providing all of this to your library in the future. Most of all, we just want to say thank you and happy reading.